Hey guys, this is Magamu, and the question here is going to be, what happens when you mix Warframe, Devil May Cry, and a roguelike? Well, apparently you get this. This is Morbid Metal, and boy, this game definitely flew under the radar for me for a while, but man, I had to show it to you guys because this is something I think this is going to be really, really cool. So, Morbid Metal, if I had to define it, this is a spectacle fighter third-person action roguelike. This is not a Souls game, which some of the trailers kind of give the impression of. Definitely not Souls-like in any way. This is an action game like Devil May Cry. You travel through these essentially tile sets like Warframe that you traverse using your different movement abilities. And you fight enemies, you dodge enemies, you put on a spectacle, and you get a rating for every fight. Now, before we jump into this, I have to show you this because crucial to this game, if you want to play it, there's a demo out right now on Steam that you can grab. Crucial to this game is the fact that there are multiple characters. So this is Flux, and I have unlocked Echo. Now, this is absolutely not cosmetic. This is crucial to the combat of the game to be able to switch through these characters. This is very important because, for instance, if I'm fighting with Flux and I cast an ability and I switch to Echo, all of my abilities are off of cooldown. So managing cooldowns between the characters, building up your rating for the fight, using movement and traversal to get higher ratings and beat the levels, and then to get upgrades whenever you finish a fight. That is what this game is. And traversal. You just saw it. You're using your traversal abilities. Now, before I jump into this fight, one thing about traversal is that this is very Warframe-like in that you build momentum the more you move. So if I jump, I double jump, and then I dash with my shift button, which is my dodge button, you can essentially chain those together and traverse the map. And you can use those to dodge between enemies, etc. So let's jump into a fight here. Again, third-person combat, not Souls-like. You should know this. And there's a dodge. We're going to be doing a lot of that. We got a couple more enemies over here. We got a flyer. Now let's just kind of go up here and deal with this flyer because these guys could be annoying. Dodge that attack and dodge that. I think I got hit there. Let's switch to Echo and do some of his abilities. Switch back and let's deal with the flyer, who is super annoying. There we go. All right, so I'm super bad at this, so don't judge me. But that's essentially the game. So you finish this up, and of course, just like Vampire Survivors, just like any other roguelike, you're going to be presented with 3 options. You're going to get, for instance, Vitality Boost. This is maximum health. Seismic Echo. This grants a guaranteed repeat attack to echo Seismic Rift. And the repeat damage is 50%. And Traveling Tremors. Echo's ground cleave impacts nearby enemies and knocks them down 1 enemy. So you're going to be getting these. They're going to be between the different characters. And you kind of pick and you get a build, right? Now, even though this game is absolutely amazing, let's pick one. I will tell you off the bat, I'm having a blast, but I will say the roguelike elements haven't really pulled me in. I don't know if it's because it's the demo. The thing that's pulling me in is undoubtedly the polish of this game, the sound, the combat, the snappiness of it. The roguelike elements haven't really pulled me in, so I'm just kind of seeing how it goes. Oh, I definitely missed that. So let's try to get a perfect dodge here. These enemies are going to attack, and we're going to try to hit shift at the right time. There we go. I did get hit once, but you saw the perfect dodge. I want you guys to see this. I'm not going to go into a fight. So let's try to get a perfect dodge. And then you follow up with an attack, right? That's going to be most of the combat of the game, trying to get perfect dodges and following up with big attacks. So let's try to get a perfect dodge on this. Let's switch to the big guy. So we can kind of cleave between multiple enemies with that heavy attack. Perfect dodge. Now, because we get a perfect dodge, we get a charge up ability that, now I don't know if we can use this on the flyer. Let's try. Yeah, but use the charge ability on the flyer. So when you get a perfect dodge, you get a charge up that's bound to my R key, and then you can unleash that charge onto an enemy like a big power attack, right? So again, we got Orb Harvest, Fracturing Fissure, and Damage Orbs. Grants the chance to spawn an orb when the player basic attacks the enemy. Or I think that sentence is a little bit off. Let's just try that one, right? So you got more of an idea here, and I gotta tell you, I am having an absolute blast with this game. Okay, I get to show you some traversal. So let's go over here. Let's grab this this heal, partial heal. Then we can go over here and I can show you some of the traversal. So you've seen this in a lot of games where you push a button and you get yeeted like that, right? Now, this is my first time seeing, I gotta be honest, I played maybe a couple hours of this, and this is my first time seeing a branching path. Usually it's one path, but it gives you an idea that this world is generated, right? On the other side of each one of these doors is the next tile set. So very much like Warframe, right? Not like Diablo, where the entire world is generated. This is kind of like, you know, tile for tile. You go from room to room, essentially. Oh, we got some choices here. Let's actually go this route, right? So we jump, double jump, dash. If that was bigger, you know, it would have been a little bit more hard to work, but it was easy to do it because it wasn't as far. All right, so this is blocked off. This is actually my first time seeing this. Is there a way to get through this? Maybe we... Oh, there we go. Oh, I gotta be honest with you guys. I had not seen this before. So we're doing this live. How do we get through here? I'm guessing we... Oh, interesting. We dash to there, and then we hit the E key. Well, that's overkill. I'm doing way too much there. But I will say, like I said, I've played this for a few hours, and that is my first time encountering a jump puzzle. Wow. That's interesting. So maybe this looks like the end of the line. So let's go back. And you get to see how the parkour, well, not parkour, the momentum-based movement kind of carries you through. So that's why we had two paths there. We're seeing more of the roguelike elements here. That's pretty cool. Tokens can be traded for routines from Eden, unavailable in the demo. So now that answers my question from earlier, because even though you get the in-game progression with the cards, I was going to point out that I have not seen any out-of-game progression. So typically with these games, you will see in-game progression and out-game progression, right? You'll be able to progress in-game by making choices and builds, and then you will get some of the more basic upgrades out of game, like health, damage, you know, those things that are a little bit more basic and you carry throughout your account. Whoa. We pushed the wrong button there. Sorry. And let's carry our momentum a little bit. Yep. Sorry about that. All right. So wait, didn't we already go this way? I am confused. Uh-oh, guys, I'm sorry. I got you guys lost. Let's go back here. Which way do we go here? What? All right, back here, and then that way is closed. Do we go this way? Oh, yep, this way. Sorry, I'm doing so much talking and not enough playing. All right, do we need to get up there? Yeah, I think we want to go up there. Now, you are seeing this live because this is my first time seeing this. How do we get up here? Interesting. My brain's breaking a little bit. Can we jump down? Yeah, we can jump down. Is this the way? Oh, okay. Again, I had not seen a lot of these elements, so I thought I was ready to record a video, but the roguelike nature of the game is definitely shining here because we're getting more of the randomness of the tiles. Pretty cool. All right. Nice little platform up here. We got a big boss. Let's go right for this. Where is he? I don't like flyers, so let's deal with you. And let's go fight this guy. Now I'm struggling a little bit. Let's see here. Let's knock him down into the ground. Let's switch back to this so we can deal with the flyer. Now, I will tell you, before we strike this guy, something you should know. This game has a targeting system, right? And I would imagine the targeting system is designed for controller. That's my assumption. So on mouse and key, you hit tab, and of course you lock on to that target. On mouse and key, it feels so bad. And like I said, I don't think that's what that's meant for. But I would imagine controller, that's going to make a difference. If you're going to play this demo on mouse and key, don't use it. All right, let's see if we can get a perfect dodge on this guy. And let's hit the nuke button. Can we one? Yeah, there we go. Cooked. Yeah, so very fulfilling dodging and I wouldn't say parrying. Perfect dodging, retaliating, doing attacks. This is a pretty solid spectacle game. All right, so we got Heavenly Might, pulls enemies beneath Echo, grants a damage boost when you kill an enemy based on a fraction of their maximum health, and Savage Slice, boost the damage of Flux's basic attacks. I am a basic guy. I like basic attacks. I see basic attack, I grab it. And off we go. So that's essentially the game. Again, there is a demo. Can we go up here? Yeah, we can. There's a demo available so you guys can play it. Choose one of three. So I've come across this before. Choose a devil's bargain. Essentially, these are corrupted upgrades where you get something, but you lose something in return. So for instance, each hit generates tokens, but you also lose tokens when hit. All basic attacks and skills heal you by a fraction of your missing health, etc. And all attacks are critical strikes, yours and enemies. That doesn't sound good. So you're essentially picking a positive and a negative. And some traversal. So the demo is available if you guys want to check it out. We'll find one more fight and we will wrap this up. A little bit of traversal here. And a nice big room. Hopefully, whoa, charge interrupted. What happened there? Oh, I missed my attack. Hopefully we'll get a better rating this time. Now, one thing about this, I should show you guys before we leave, is that you can dodge mid-attack, which makes this game feel really good. So, for instance, if I go and attack this enemy with this very slow attack, let's do it. See, well, I'm going to try to cancel the... Yeah, see, even though that attack is slow, I can leave out of that attack pretty early, like that. So, I show you that because... Can you stop attacking me, please? I show you that because the game is fluid. It could easily be clunky, but it's not. Because you can animation break out of attacks. And we just absolutely fry that guy. Yeah, it keeps the game from being clunky, which if you play these spectacle action games, some of them can be pretty doggone clunky. And this one doesn't really have that problem because it does have the animation canceling. I don't know if you guys remember Godfall. One of my biggest complaints, man, I'm feeling old. We're talking about Godfall. One of my biggest complaints about Godfall was it did not have the animation canceling. Let's actually show this again because this is super crucial. I know I'm really harping on this, but if you're going to pick up one of these games, being able to get out of attacks is the make or break for a game like this, especially with this heavy character. All right, so that is essentially Morbid Metal. Pretty cool game. Looks nice. Started by one developer. Cyber ninjas, if you're into that type of thing. None of you guys are into cyber ninjas. I absolutely know it. You know, there's no one on this channel that's interested at all in cyber ninjas with edgy outfits and multiple characters. That is not you guys' thing. All right, so that's Morbid Metal. I may be releasing more videos like this showing some games I'm excited about as we search for games and bring some new games to you guys' subscription box. All right, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Talk to you later.